If your social media feeds are anything like mine, it is nearly impossible to scroll without happening upon a post about losing weight, calorie counting, tracking macros, or looking skinny. Today, we are going to get real about diet culture and talk about how dangerous some of these habits can be. My name is Rachel Sirota, and I'm a holistic habits coach specializing in essential oils and natural lifestyle solutions. And as a 40 something mom, I am definitely aware that I don't look quite like I did in my 20s. All those social media algorithms target me as the ideal client for the cleanses and the programs and the eating plans that promise to help me lose that stubborn belly fat. But here's the thing, not only do most of these systems and programs not actually work in the long run, many of them are dangerous and can actually make it harder to get healthy later on. If you would much rather create long term health without this toxic diet culture, hit subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Be sure you stick around to the end to hear these two examples of diet culture habits and the healthier alternatives that you can replace them with. Plus, I'll also share my free guide with 5 simple steps to a healthy lifestyle through habits that stick. Ready? Let's dig into this. The first dangerous diet culture habit that I want to talk to you about is extreme calorie restriction. So many programs, systems, plans begin with tracking and counting every single calorie. Low calorie is seen as good, while higher calorie is seen as bad. Not only can this lead to nutrient deficiencies, as well as depression, anxiety, and fatigue, it can also disrupt your metabolic processes, making it harder for you to maintain any weight loss. This often leads to you thinking, well, the diet worked initially, so I must be the problem. So you try again, except now you have to restrict your caloric intake even more to get the results. And then you see how this cycle continues. We end up in the realm of disordered eating, organ damage, hormonal imbalances, mental health challenges, and so much more. And you still can't maintain that healthy weight. So, what do you do instead? Don't look at the calorie count. Gasp! Yes, I said it. Focus on eating whole foods. Avoid processed foods and added sugars. Watch out for food dyes, artificial flavors, and ingredients you can't pronounce. Like Michael Pollan said, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. And then go check out my video on avoiding post meal glucose spikes. I teach you how you can still eat your favorite foods while minimizing the impact that those blood sugar spikes have on your system. There is so much research that is out there now to support the fact that the number of calories you eat is not nearly as important as what you eat and when you eat it. But more on that in a future video. So, what's your favorite meal? Can you eat it without feeling guilty? Do you find yourself saying things like, oh, I'll have to spend extra time at the gym to burn off all those calories? Are you stressing about every single bite? These are all signs that toxic diet culture has seeped into your life. If that's you, I want you to pause this video. We'll wait. Go stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say, I deserve better. Because you do. All right, good. I promise we are in this together. We've got this. All right, let's keep going. The second dangerous diet culture habit is making weight loss the win. So often, when I ask people for their health goal, they respond by telling me the difference between their current weight and their ideal weight. If your goal is to lose 30 pounds, you're likely setting yourself up for long-term failure. Yeah, here's what I mean. You decide you want to lose 30 pounds. So you buy a system to help. There's maybe prepackaged low-calorie meals or maybe some shakes. You start counting your macros, weighing all your food, and worrying about the carb content of a cucumber. But you stick with the program, you add in some exercise, and a couple months later, the scale says you are 30 pounds lighter. You win! Now what? We all know how this story ends. Whether it's a few months or a year or 2 years down the road, the system worked. You just couldn't maintain it. So back we go. Let's play this game again. Instead, consider making longevity the win. In other words, the goal is to keep playing. You win when you stay in the game as long as possible. And staying in the game looks like energy, mental clarity, avoiding chronic disease, and generally getting to live the life you love. You choose habits that focus on your cardiometabolic health. You exercise not to push yourself to the brink of collapse, but in a way that you can actually sustain it for many years to come. You eat nourishing foods. You sleep and manage your stress through yoga or journaling or meditation. And guess what? When you do all this, your body releases the weight and you keep it off. Oh, one last thing. Watch the language that you use. When you lose something, you typically want to find it again. Make sure your brain understands that you aren't losing weight, you're releasing it. Think about it. Are you ready to dive into these new healthy habits? Download my free Creating Healthy Habits guide by clicking the link in the description, and you will learn my top tips for creating healthy habits that stick. Remember to like and subscribe and tune in next week. I am going to share with you a must-have recipe for every single household, my boo-boo spray. This is one of the first things I learned how to make when I started my essential oil journey. And it is still one of our most frequently used blends.